Nintendo console adjusted for inflation, and apparently the Switch 2 is not Nintendo's most expensive console ever. Yes, so we have the Switch 2 compared to every console. This is of course adjusted for inflation, obviously. So the NES was Nintendo's most expensive console ever, with the SNES and then the N64 following that. And then Nintendo games were around in the 300s as well here. And then the Wii U went back to the 400, and then the Switch went back down again as well. And then the Switch 2 is 450. So actually, the most expensive Nintendo console ever made was the NES, not the Switch 2. Because of course, if you're adjusting for inflation, all the consoles ever Nintendo has ever made, Nintendo's NES is the most expensive console. If you include PlayStation and Xbox, the PS3 would be the most expensive console at once, as the PS3 would be nearly $1,000 today, as well here. Yeah, as well. Also, I think the Xbox and PS5, the current ones, are also more expensive than the Switch 2, as well here. So, already the Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox Series X and PS5 and PS5 Pro are already more expensive than the Switch 2. Also, the many Steam Decks are much more expensive than the Switch 2 as well. Yeah, like, if you want the worst version of the Steam Deck, unless you want to get the console used, yeah, people don't understand the whole Steam Deck thing. Okay, if you want the actually I think the 256 gigabyte Steam Deck is the same on Amazon, but everything on Amazon is usually cheaper. But if you want the, 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte version of the Steam Deck, you still have to pay a lot of money. Because assuming that most people want to have a good storage space on the console, or handheld with the Steam Deck. So if you really want to have a good storage space on the Steam Deck and have multiple games, you still have to pay around $700 to $800. Like, people say, but the Steam Deck is a much better deal than the Switch 2. But the Steam Deck, the ones that are on the same price point as the Steam Deck, are on the same storage base, storage-wise as well here. So, yeah. Also, the Steam Deck, if you want the 512 gigabyte version, is around 500 to around 450. As well, if you want the 1 terabyte version, well, I assume that's the version that everybody wants, considering it has the most amount of terabytes as well here. Probably has the biggest power. You still have to pay a lot of money for a Steam Deck as well here. Same price as a PS5 Pro, I think, around $700 as well for a 2 terabyte Steam Deck as well here. But I'll let the people in the comments decide if 2 terabytes for $700 is a good deal. Also, the fact that Amazon usually sells their game and stuff for lower prices than everywhere else. Also, you could probably get the Steam Deck on sale and like Black Friday or pay probably way cheaper as well here. But the Switch 2 will probably also be on sale on Black Friday too. Usually everything is on sale on Black Friday. So yeah, goodbye.